Morning.
Morning, everyone. Okay, just give us a minute to get set up, everyone. Okay, so just the usual reminder, we're doing two sections. First one's for immediate use, the second one's for 10:30 this evening. Pete, we'll start off with you for Sky Sports News.
Hi Ralph, how are you?
Hi again.
Just over a week since the defeat at Brentford and some time on the training pitch, what have you been working on to try and achieve a positive finish to the end of the season?
We had a lot to do this week, as you can imagine. We lost against a good team, I think meanwhile we have seen a lot of games coming up. Meanwhile, we know that the 40 points are enough for staying in the league. There's a big battle down in the league where you don't want to be involved, and the positive thing is that we have 2 games left against the best team in the world in the moment, maybe, another game against Leicester. And for these 2 games, we were using the time for looking on our details and finding a better way of being competitive.
As you say, the results over the weekend mean Southampton are safe, but how frustrating has this been, considering in February it looked like a top half finish might be on the cards, and what do you think might cause this drop off?
Sure, it is a little bit similar to all the seasons before. We have one time had a good end where we had the break, and after the COVID break we ended up quite strong. In all the other seasons, in the end of the season, we were dropping positions, and this is sure something what you can say missed a big chance, or it's overall simply not enough what we are delivering over the whole season. And I think when you look what we have played, especially against the top teams this season, we took 11 points, 5 draws and two wins, and this shows you the potential we sometimes have. But the consistency and to take points against teams around us was not there, especially not in the second half of the season. That cost us a few positions in the table. In the end, you have to say, is it that they have more quality than we have, or is it that we haven't been good enough in the end because of some reasons? I think the most important thing for us is that we have again very early save the league. This is always every year the most important thing for us. I mean, when you see what teams are now in a relegation battle, I think they would like to change the position with us. And never forget this. We had nothing to do with a relegation in the last 3 years, and this was this season the same. Everybody can say if this is a big achievement for the club or not. For me, it is. In the end, we know that there was a bigger chance today to end up higher. There's still a chance, a small chance there, and we take the last 2 games for getting as many points as possible, and then hopefully end up in a positive way.
It was good news last week. James Ward Prowse has been nominated as a Premier League Player of the Year contender. You talk a lot about his free kick goals, but how important is he to you, and what does he do so well that makes him clearly one of the best players in the Premier League this season?
A very, very big honour for him, I think, to be nominated. Shows you what he has done this season for us as a captain, as a leader on the pitch, and with his sensational goals, also by far the best scorer and assist maker this season for us. And very impressive season, I must say. It absolutely deserved to be in this very elite circle, if you want.
Looking ahead to Liverpool tomorrow night, obviously they had 120 minutes and penalties against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. We saw Salah go off injured, Van Dijk off injured. Do the exertions they've been through affect at all the way you might approach this game tomorrow night, or what do you expect from them?
I expect them fully focused on this game. They have still a big chance to become champion this season because of the draw of Man City on the weekend. Chance is still alive, and as long as Jürgen sees that there is a chance, he will go with everything he has. Yes, they have some injury problems, but don't see the really big problems when you have Diego Jota for Mo Salah. So I've heard from more difficult situations, but in the end, yes, they have a few problems. We also have a few problems, and we will also have to look who is available. Tino's surgery was good. That is the positive thing. He had a very good surgery, and now he's on a long way back. Stewie Armstrong and Fraser Foster didn't train the week. Started yesterday. We will look how far they are to be available for the weekend. Yeah, so we have a few issues also.
Just in terms of that context of that game, obviously very important in the title race for Liverpool. Pep Guardiola yesterday said his message for Southampton was to win 4-0 for him tomorrow. But does that affect the way the game might play out tomorrow in terms of the pressure that's on Liverpool to get that win? If the scoreline's 0-0 later on in the game, does that affect perhaps the way you look ahead to the game, different scenarios that might play out in that match?
I think it is fantastic for the Premier League to have such a close title race. I mean, this is everybody is electrified from this battle, and we are now part of this duel. If you want, we had done our job against Man City, I must say, this season. We took 2 points. They lost 4 points against us in the title race, if you want. Against Liverpool, the first game we lost. So now it's up to us to show again that we can be competitive against the top team. For me, it is one of the most difficult games to prepare for because of the flexibility of the opponent and the unbelievable offensive qualities they have. There's not one way to say that's the way you can go. We tried it in many different ways. We had one win, the last game here at St. Mary's. We have won. That we played exceptionally well, especially in the defense. And this is what you definitely need, a fantastic defense, but this is not enough for taking something. Thank you.
Ralph, how similar does the approach need to be to the one that was so successful against Manchester City when you come up against Liverpool?
No, it's completely different, the behavior. I mean, they're both strong on the ball. They have both massive quality up front. I feel sometimes especially that they have some patterns, very flexible patterns that you can hardly access your team for. I mean, this is a very dynamic offensive with a quick transition after ball win, but also meanwhile with quality to break down a deep sitting block. So there is not one way to do it. I think you have to be strong in the high field pressing, and also when you defend deep and around your box. They definitely show you every weakness. In the last game we played against them, after 2 minutes there was one up, but we were one down, and then it was super tough for us in Anfield. But at home we have shown some very resilient performances here, and this is what we need.
Liverpool are remarkably consistent. You've mentioned how flexible they are as well. When you analyse them, is there one attribute above all others that you admire the most?
Yeah, we speak very often about their mentality. I mean, we all know Jürgen, and you all know how strong he is of focusing. And you can be sure that he didn't give up the chance for winning the league, for sure not, because I think this is I think that title that is the most countable, I think, for everybody, because it's the hardest to get. For me, it is even harder to be over 38 games in the Premier League consistently on the top than to win the Champions League sometimes, I must say. Because for me, this is for a manager, the harder way to go to win this title. And I think they are sure not, even if he says it's tough for him now to go for all four, but I know that he will do everything to win this game on Tuesday, to give himself a chance on the last day. And for us, it is to not be here to give any presents. I must say that we are really also, I don't want to say under pressure because we are safe in the league, but we want to show that we have a different face, and this must be motivation enough for us.
You mentioned the win here last season against them, and no Southampton fan will forget your reaction at the final whistle, how much it meant to you? Is it how high up does that result and that experience rank in your time here and your time in management?
I haven't won that often against Jürgen, so it was a special moment for me. And you know that we had a similar way of playing football for a long time, and I think we have a big respect of everybody. So we know that the job the other does is amazing, and I think if you then end up against such a top team with our team and then win at home is always a very impressive moment for everybody, and it was a pity that we had no supporters in the stands. So, but this time it will be full, and everybody will watch this game. Everybody will look at this game, and this is for us a big motivation. And we know that we have to be on our best.
And with you not having a game at the weekend, a few days to prepare, I believe there were a couple of sort of team bonding things, a barbecue, maybe some golf. Were they successful events? Is everything on a higher level than it was maybe?
No, we have had a long week and enough time now to prepare. The players were also together and spent a lot of time together. So we are coming on the last week of the season, and it's still a big game coming up for us now. And everybody is focused on this game, and everybody wants to play this game.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Final home game of the season is always a special occasion. How much pressure or responsibility, or whatever you want to call it, do you and the players feel to put in a performance that gets you clapped off the pitch by the fans, not booed off the pitch, given what happened at Brentford, and given it's the last game and this is what everyone will remember in the summer? It's an important night for you all, isn't it?
No, it's just maybe the most difficult one at home, but I think we have shown in the past that we can be committed in these games. And when I remember these games this season at home against the big teams, I remember the Tottenham game where we were 1 man down, where we did a fantastic job. Against Arsenal we have won, against Man City we have drawn, against Man United we have drawn. So we have shown against the top teams that we can, together achieve something very big, and this is what we need on Tuesday evening. I don't see them. They know what team we are facing. They know how tough it is. They know what run of form they are, and even if they have some injuries, maybe they all know that how tough it is against the Champions League finalists to play here. It's our Champions League final, if you want, and we are going for this with everything we have, and the team that is on the pitch is the team that will do everything for make them proud.
How tough a week or so has it been for you? Because I was quite shocked at Brentford when the fans were were saying things that weren't very nice. It was a surprise after, like you said, staying in the league 3 years in a row. Has it been bruising for you, or has it affected you?
No, not really, because I understand the frustration completely. As I said after the game, when you don't perform well against a good informed team away after a not so bad start and then conceding 2 easy goals, it is a tough game to come up. And then when you see them yesterday playing against Everton, you know, okay, they are momentary not so bad. But in this moment, in this situation, you must understand that the frustration is there. Meanwhile, I think everybody sees very clear, and maybe this is a good thing when you want that we are in the end a little bit struggling, that we know that we have to do something this summer. And we have seen that we always end up reaching our limits. And if you want to push the limits higher, then you have to change a few things in the summer. And this is what we will do. I'm sure we will do. And that means the fundament we have built every year, but we always fail to make the next step. And for the next step, there are maybe other things necessary, and this is what we will try.
I'm guessing the actual points total is probably one of the disappointing things of the season for you. What's the most pleasing thing you've seen this season with your squad, or in performances or whatever, or the high and low of the season?
The most pleasing things is, for me, or it was, that before the season we were absolutely on the betting list very high for being the relegation team after losing our best striker and after losing a few other important players for a lot of money. And we proved them wrong with a very young team, a team that had to learn and had to stay in the league with our limits we have as a club. And everybody can hang it as high as he wants. I know what performance this was from us. When you then, during the season, flying high, nobody speaks about 7 wins out of 10. Everybody speaks about 1 win out of 10 in the last part of the season. But this is the Premier League, and we know that it is tough to perform on the highest level for a consecutive time. So, for me, I think I know what we have done and what the young lads have done this season, and now we have to end up in a positive way.
Thanks, Ralph.
Okay, move on to the section for 10.
Can I just ask what Fraser and Stuart Armstrong's problems are while they're in training?
Yeah, both had problems with some back problems and joint problems, knee problems, a little bit from everything, a little bit sore, and hopefully ready for going for Tuesday.
Okay, we'll move on to the section.